Welcome to Conversations, a podcast by RepresentASIAN Project where we sit down with notable Asians to have the conversations that we don't always get to have out loud. I'm your host, Madelyn Chung, the founder of RepresentASIAN Project, a storyteller, a registered psychotherapist, and someone who believes our identities are not just shaped by where we come from, but what we've carried, questioned, healed, and reclaimed along the way. And what better month to start our podcast than Asian Heritage Month? I'm honored to say that our first guest is someone who is deeply woven into the story of this city, Mayor Olivia Chow. She is the 66th mayor of Toronto, the first person of Asian descent to serve as mayor, and the first woman to hold the role since the city's amalgamation. Born in Hong Kong, she immigrated to Toronto with her family as a teenager and went on to build a decades-long career as a school trustee, city councillor, member of parliament, community organizer, and advocate. But today we're not just talking to Mayor Chow about politics or public life. We're inviting her into my home, onto my couch, to talk about the person behind the title, about family, identity, community, and what it means to carry your story into the work you do. It's kind of like being in the hot seat, but way cozier. Mayor Olivia Chow.
Hello.
Welcome to Conversations. You are our inaugural guest.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? I have a confession to make.
I better sit straight.
I think I manifested you onto this podcast.
Ooh.
Do you believe in
How
manifestation?
did you manage that?
Well, we were thinking about starting this podcast.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to do it in my home, be cozy on my couch. Dog's not here today, but eventually the dog will be here. And I was thinking about my dream guests. And I was like, it would be so cool if Mayor Olivia Chow came to my home and sat on my couch and chatted with me. And then a couple months later, Brahman, your press secretary, emails me out of the blue and is like, we would love if Olivia Chow could come on your podcast, which was in my head. It had not actually come to existence
Something
yet.
is happening.
Something is happening. And now you're here,
Well, there
which
you
is
are.
incredible. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for letting me into your home. Mm-hmm. Where's the dog again?
The dog's out with his pawpaw right now.
He's
Yes.
coming back.
He's coming back. He's coming back. All right, we're going to kick it off with our segment called The Check-In,
Okay.
which is, so I don't know if you know, I'm also a psychotherapist, a registered psychotherapist.
Whoa.
Are you ready for this?
I am ready. Bring it on.
So basically the check-in is just to get us grounded, not unlike a therapy session, but just to kind of see where you're at today. So how are you really feeling today? Not the regular how are you? Fantastic.
I
What's feeling
delivered a
fantastic?
speech that was very well received. It took a bit more work than normal. Did the workout in the morning, announced the ferry, the 2 electric ferry, first time in 60 years.
Wow.
They have a new name. And it's going to show up. That ferry is on budget, on time. So it's a good thing. So anyway, and then I get to sit on the couch in a very nice, comfortable home and meeting you. I'm doing well.
Great. Okay, can we get into our conversation?
Sure.
All right. First
You're
question.
not going to do an analysis of...
No analysis.
It's okay.
No analysis.
Okay.
Safe space.
Okay. Brave space, too.
Brave space. So you came to Toronto from Hong Kong at 13 years old with your family. Do you remember what that experience was like for you and what you were thinking at 13 years old coming to a new country?
I miss my dog.
Oh.
I have a mutt called Awu that I had in Hong Kong. Only kid, so I bonded with the dog.
Oh.
I have a beautiful drawing of the dog. And I miss my friends. But most of all, I miss my dog.
Yeah.
And it was lonely for a little while. And then, when you're 13, 14, I got into high school, Jarvis Collegiate. It was great. I met some friends that are Canadian born. They can't speak English. Sorry, they can't. My English is poor. Their Chinese is non-existent. So I learned English. Well, I already spoke some English, but not as well as it could be. But yeah, and I fit into Jarvis Collegiate because there were a lot of second-generation Chinese Canadians there. And and it was fine. The adaptation of settling was fine.
Right. What was the most challenging thing for you, aside from being apart from your dog?
The most challenging thing, my dad and my mom, they fight all the time. So it was a lot of yelling, and my dad was violent towards my mom. So it was hard because I have no idea where to turn, who to speak to. The guidance counselor was singularly unhelpful. So that's hard. That part is hard, and I couldn't invite my friends to my house because there was so much fighting going on. Other than that, like that piece was difficult. It was pretty dark. But I had this really amazing grade 11, 12 English teacher. And yeah, so I love reading novels.
That was maybe your escape.
My art was my escape. I'm very good at drawing.
You were
I
the one
started an art club in Jarvis Collegiate, and yeah, that was my thing.
Were you the one who drew that picture of your dog?
I was when I was in Hong Kong.
Very nice.
Yeah. Are you an artist?
I'm not. My visual arts is a musician. Music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Piano.
Piano. Well, all Chinese family, let me tell you, if you don't learn how to play piano, you're a horrible person. I had a piano at my home when I was in Hong Kong, right in front of me. My dad was a musician. He's a school superintendent, but he sang Italian opera. So he expects his daughter to learn how to play piano. That didn't land well. I was too restless. I so regret it.
Yeah.
But I never really learned. But you did, obviously.
I did, and you know what? It was a bit different for me. My dad did want me to do it, but I grew up, with a single mom, so my dad was mostly away most of the time. But it was something that I really wanted to do.
Oh my gosh.
And stick to.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what level were you in?
I went all the way up to ARCT with the Royal Conservatory.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But I think it was one of those things where I was like, this is the thing that I think my dad will be most proud of.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to keep doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you still play?
I still play. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's in the study over there.
It's in the study.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the keyboard.
Next time maybe we'll do a duet.
I know. I'll paint while you play
good.
piano. How's that?
Sounds great. Okay, we're going to pivot a little bit.
Okay.
From arts to now thinking about your career and building a life of public service. So you were a school trustee, city councillor, MP, and now mayor. But what was it that made you want to get into politics?
My degree is in fine arts. I took philosophy, religion, theology.
What did your parents think of that?
My dad didn't care. My mom had a hissy fit because how are you going to make a living again? I can wait on tables, but they didn't come to Canada and sacrifice their lives for their daughter to... Anyway, I've done fine. But so my degree was actually in fine arts. But it was really about... I actually, in first or second year university, I had a summer job to research the history of Chinese in Canada. So I spent a summer researching these microfish, it's really hard on your eyes. And I got to know a group of friends that are very community-minded. And from there, they said, look at all these Asian, Vietnamese, Chinese that are drowning at sea, women being raped, robbed, horrible, refugees camp. We need to open the doors to let them to come to Canada, come to a rally, sign the petition, let's start a campaign. So there was a campaign called Operation Lifeline that I joined in, and I went from reading the comic section, the art section of the newspaper, to the A section of the newspaper, which is more news, and discovered that, it worked. 300,000 Vietnamese or Southeast Asian refugees arrived to Canada. The first year was 60,000. It just then built. So I discovered, oh, this is what politics is about. You can get things changed. So one thing led to another. I then got more and more involved in politics, and then decided to run for office.
Yeah. When you first got into it, what was the first thing that you wanted to make a change?
Once I got elected, that there should be some curriculum that reflects the people, the student that studied both language and the history of, say, Japanese in Canada, what happened to them, the internment, right? And the Chinese building railroad. So curriculum was important. And also learning their own language, because my girlfriends that I grew up with in high school refused to hold their chopsticks because she thought that it was a shameful thing. Now, this is in the 70s. And didn't want their mom anywhere near them. They can't even talk to their mom because mom couldn't speak English and they don't speak Chinese. So that really hurt the self-confidence, the identity, the relationship between parents and their kids. For all that reason, I championed, at that time it's called heritage language, international language, whatever name you call it. It's ironic that right now they're cutting the program, because that was the first thing I fought for, so that we could learn the language in school. And as it turned out, learning multiple languages means you can be academically even more successful. Because when you're young, learning 3 languages is easy. And it develops your mental capacity even more. So anyway, that was my first thing.
I mean, how do you cope with seeing these things that you've made these changes in, and then it's like, because, you know, we've seen a lot of shifts societally, politically, in the world, and then now we're seeing a lot of stuff backtracking. And how do you deal with that? How do you stay motivated?
Well, the thing though is, culturally now, it's cool to be Asian. It's all right, right?
Everyone's China maxing.
Yeah. We have Maggie Jan, right? Maggie Kang, the key. Yeah, you know, so it's okay. It's okay to be Asian. You don't have to be ashamed of it anymore. Unlike the 70s, right? But still, learning the language is still important. But I'm no longer in the education system. Not within my control. But I still dabble because I wanted kids to eat a good, decent meal mid-morning. So that's, as a mayor, I'm able to do that. I'm able to make sure every kid could eat something, right? So, but if the school is full of Asian kids, the food could be Asian food.
Yes.
Right? In an area, lots of Tamils, good samosas, and whatever, right? It's just so. Then you're not ashamed of anything. You're celebrating each other's culture, and it works. It doesn't have to be cheese sticks and muffin.
And I remember wanting to bring the Lunchables to school because that was what all the other kids have. And I didn't want to bring, you know, the Chinese food that my mom cooked.
Yeah, I know.
I was
Rice.
ashamed.
Ooh.
Right. But now everyone wants to eat rice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they said, oh, can I have some?
Exactly.
Yeah, dumplings. My God, dumplings.
Right.
What?
Yeah, so it's so interesting how things shift.
Yeah, I have shift because through the years, people, I mean, this is magic about Toronto. Yes. It is so diverse that everything is cool. Like, you know, if you can't appreciate it, it's your problem.
Yes, I love that. You heard it here. If you can't appreciate it, it's your problem, according to Mayor Chow.
That's right. You're missing out.
Okay, so you are the first Asian mayor of this incredibly diverse city, which is crazy that you are the first Asian mayor because the city is so diverse, and the first female mayor. And, you know, we talk a lot about we call it the rep sweats, the representation sweats, where because there's so much weight and pressure to being the first in these, you know, positions, especially when you're so public facing. And I'm wondering if you felt those rep sweats coming into this role.
Well, I've been elected for quite a while. Initially, a bit more. Before I got elected, I did a lot of work because at the time, people have no idea who is responsible for what. So immigration is federal. I was working for a federal member of parliament. So I did a lot of conversation about what immigration policy is all about. And when I first got elected as a school trustee, and then later on as a metro councillor, I was at that time the first Asian metro councillor in the region, in Toronto. So initially there is a bit of, okay, this is very important, but I never thought of it that there's a burden. I thought of it as a blessing. Because I understand why if you call 911, if you can't speak English, someone is choking. Let's say if your husband is choking, you can't tell them. Or there's a fire going on, you can't explain it. Then it's a real problem. So I understood that because my mom didn't speak. Her English is really minimal. She can communicate a bit. She can swear very well.
That's the most important part.
That's exactly. Yeah, but still. So because I understand the needs of the community, then when I became elected, I said, okay, 911 must speak different languages. So I ran a big campaign. I tried once, I lost. The second time, I won. I finally was able to persuade the police service board to have 911 speaks multiple languages. And it took the police service board chair at the time was Susan Ng, also another Asian. Before that, it was June Rollins. She said no. I thought, okay, let me try again. And so it's not necessarily a sweat or a burden, but it's actually a blessing that I understand instinctively or intellectually or mentally or emotionally. I understand what it means to not be able to communicate with your parents if you don't speak the language, to have curriculum that have no reality of what you experience. It doesn't reflect who you are, or the history of the different communities' contribution to the building of Canada is missing. You could be Irish, but you probably didn't know that 30,000 Irish immigrants refugees actually, came to Toronto when we have 20,000 people, right? So the city of Toronto is really built by refugees, migrants, newcomers. So having that history, learning that is a blessing. So is it a sweat?
You don't sweat.
Well, yeah, I don't sweat very much. Yes. But initially, I end up doing a lot more work for the Asian communities to explain the immigration policy, for example, even though it's not what I was in charge of.
But I think that just goes to show how important it is to have diverse people and racialized people in these positions like yours, because like you say, you have that understanding and that empathy and like that firsthand experience of, what those communities need. And even thinking about, you said, what was the woman Ng?
Susan
Ng. Yeah. And like, even thinking about having other racialized people around, right? Because Susan was the one who was like, yeah, we should do this.
Made it happen, yeah. Occasionally, because we both have black hair, she's called Olivia Chow and called Susan Ng.
Classic.
It's still happening.
Classic. Yeah. Wrong Asian.
Wrong Asian. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Happens.
Well, speaking about being an Asian woman, and, these are maybe one of the microaggressions that we experience as being,
misnamed
and confused with. But, being a woman is really tough because we often don't get taken seriously. Being a racialized woman can be even more difficult.
Shorter,
yeah. And so I wonder, how do you cope with that in being in this you know, again, very public facing position, if there are people who, you know, are not taking you as seriously because you are a racialized woman?
That's just okay, because if you underestimate me, then it's much easier for me to negotiate.
I love that.
Yeah, it's because I think that person is in a disadvantage, which go ahead and underestimate, because that's fine. You know, all the stereotype about Asian women: submissive, quiet, smile a lot, eager to please,
Yeah.
etc., etc. Are you kidding? Yeah, there's element of it, because being empathetic is important. Understanding each other's positions, where they're coming from, is important. But when you're negotiating a funding formula, for example, or negotiating a deal, or negotiating to get an item through city council with other councillors, it's important to hear each other, but it's also important to say, this is the red line, but I don't actually have to tell you what is the deadline. It's a different style that I could wait until you're not there anymore. I'll negotiate with the person after you, for example, right? So it's okay to be underestimated, and
I love how you see the positive sides of things.
Of all the negatives.
Of all the negatives. And where does that come from?
Practical. I just want to get things done. And there's always teachable moment, right? So if we look at a glass being half full of a person, sometimes just looking at what's lacking rather than what that person is really good at, then you go on the negative side. I don't agree necessarily with people that are my political counterpart or opponent or whatever, but there's always a common ground somewhere. And being able to find that common ground means we can move things forward, which would then benefit everybody.
Yes.
I don't mind a fight. I can get quite aggressive if you want to fight. But we don't need to fight, then we won't fight.
Right.
But from time to time, you do. I think being able to be positive all the time, you bring out the good out of people. Then you arise in getting them to feel appreciated and feel good about it. Then it's easier to move forward. If not, then it's just always negative.
Yeah. I feel so inspired by you.
No. I get, go back to China all the time. I said, well, China? I haven't visited for quite a while.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from Hong Kong, eh?
And then they don't know the difference.
Well, Hong Kong does belong to China,
Yes.
but that's splitting hair.
Yes.
By the time they drift off to try to find other insults.
But how do you deal with those insults?
Meh.
I wish I was as well adjusted as you. Because it can be
You know,
hard.
if people want to descend into a hate, then I feel sorry for them. Right? If you're always a hateful, bitter person, you must have a really miserable life.
Yes.
Oh my God. Right? Need some love. Maybe get a dog.
Yes. Dogs fix everything.
Unconditional love. Then it might not be as hateful, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes those people feel so alienated, feel that they are at the short end of the stick. And there are people legitimately, because they may try really hard and couldn't find a job or got evicted, no fault of their own, then they needed someone to blame. So if you see past the anger and the hate, you say, what's with you, right? What's fueling it? Then you can overcome that hatefulness. You're just being ignorant.
Right.
I would just ignore it then. If you're ignorant, ignorant, yeah, I'll just ignore it.
It works out.
It works out. Yeah.
Speaking of receiving hate and criticism, still on that topic, what I do love about you and really respect about you is that you are willing to speak on topics that a lot of people, especially public figures, politicians, shy away from. And you're not afraid to name those things. And what gives you that courage to do that?
Life's too short. Teachable moment, right? Usually the people that have least amount of voice, least power, easiest to be bullied, are the ones that you need to speak out about for, or find ways to elevate them so their voices can be heard. If I have a position of some power and don't use that voice, then who am I for? At the end of the day, it's always, why am I here? Who am I for? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And if I can't answer the question, I should pack up and not do this, right? I had a friend that he passed, but he said, Olivia, if I one day send you a paintbrush, it's time for you to quit. Go back and paint. Go back and paint because you've lost your way. So I haven't gotten the paintbrush yet. So it's very good. Friends can do that. But controversy, you sometimes you need to confront it.
Yeah.
If the person is racist, you have to confront it. Now, if the occasion doesn't call for it and you're distracting in what you want to do or what you want to accomplish, ignore it. But occasionally it needs to be called out.
Yeah.
But I find that other people can do the calling out. I'll just keep getting things done for the city, and whether it's opening libraries 7 days a week, love to read. All of those things, building more housing that people can afford. All of those things, I just need to keep driving it.
How do you get the energy to do all of this?
I heard you have a gym downstairs.
Which I don't use.
I have a gym down in the basement of City Hall. You will find me at 6:45 a.m. In the gym every day. And it doesn't matter how late I'm the night before. I get there, do my workout. So an hour each day. And if I have to read a document because I just had to, I will be on the bike reading that document.
My goodness.
And working, my leg is moving, but I'm working away.
And you are everywhere in the city. I saw a tweet the other day that was saying, this summer I want to be outside the way that Mayor Olivia Chow is outside in Toronto.
Really?
Yes. And, I think it's so wonderful how you show up for all of these different communities. And you show up and you're not just kind of showing up being there. Like, you are participating in all of these things. And why is that important for you to be so involved in the city's life?
If you think about, like, tonight I'm going to a South Asian Bar Association. It's a South Asian lawyers. And it took many years for them to grow to the size they are now. It's very important. They support each other and mentor and learn, inspire each other. To have the mayor there to support them and appreciate them is important. And those that have these festivals on the street, I call it Taste of anything, everything, everywhere, right? Taste of Little Italy, taste of Manila, taste of everything everywhere.
All at once.
All at once, yeah, right. And it's labor of love. It's usually organized by a whole lot of volunteers. They spent months bringing it together. It's on the street, completely free, open to whoever wants to be there. And we're eating together, listening to music, and just having a grand time. They want the mayor to appreciate it because of their labor of love, right? So I see these people that have done so much to provide the glue of the city so that we feel we belong, so that we feel, we can celebrate each other together. And that is really important. It's under, people saying, oh, there's singing and dancing. No, it's more than that. It's a real sense of belonging. It's really connecting communities together. Because if you do that, then I find in Europe the racial conflicts a lot stronger, even south of border.
Yeah.
Not in Toronto. Because when you eat together and sing together and dance together, how you get mad with each other? You can't.
Yeah.
You know, you're sharing the food. How do you get mad at each other? And saying that, oh, you're taking my job. You are, go back to where you come from. It's so much harder to say that to people if you are face to face with them, enjoying each other under the sun for free.
For free. That's the best part.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful. We're going to switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
And go on to our next segment called The Heirloom. So we'd asked you to bring something important to you.
Okay.
So we're going to get Brahman to come and bring it in.
Ta-ta.
Ta-da.
Okay.
So can you explain, what did you bring today?
Eating. Yeah. This is my mom cooking. She's no longer with us. She passed at 94. And eating is very important for us.
Yes.
So she is attempting to teach me how to cook. Actually, maybe not. She did the cooking. I'm tasting the food.
Yes.
And we were doing a feature story about mom and daughter, that kind of thing. So that's very important for me. I sometimes wear a gold chain that she has, and I didn't wear it today. I think I was wearing it last night, and it's also something that very precious. A house got broken into. Most of her jewelry got stolen. Oh, no. I know. But she had 1 or 2 pieces left, so I was wearing it. Yeah. But this is hung in my office, right outside my office door, and 2 of the greatest things I love to eat. Yes. Love my mom.
Yes. Yeah, I love my mom too. So now we're gonna bring something else in. This is probably my favorite segment. Oh. So we are going to introduce the Conversations tin. So Olivia, I'm sure you recognize this tin.
I recognize this box.
Right?
I love eating these cookies.
Right, but usually it gives us trust issues because there was never cookies growing up in this. It was usually sewing supplies or craft supplies.
Yes.
Yes.
Or something. I once used this as a base and put white plasticine on it and pretended it was a birthday cake and put candles on it and served it to my friend as a birthday. He tries to cut it and then it just kept hitting. It was a total riot. But anyway, yeah, okay. It's a prank.
So can you do us the honors of opening the tin this? And see what's inside?
Drum roll.
Oh,
fortune cookie! I could have guessed. Do I get to pick one?
You get to pick one.
Did you write it?
What's that?
Did you write things in
there? I did, and there's a burning question in there for you. So choose wisely. I wouldn't suggest you eat the cookies though, because
You've been,
I had to like put the stuff in it and everything.
yeah,
So
you've
it's
been
just,
handling
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So we're just gonna do it for the fortune.
Okay.
Yep.
Wait, where is it?
It's there somewhere.
Are you sure you put it in?
I put them in there painstakingly with tweezers.
Oh my God! Wow, this is quite something. What piece of representation make you feel seen for the first time? Hmm. Huh. It's not representation,
Okay.
but it's slightly more complex than that.
Okay.
I often had a question. If I are very involved in Chinese culture, reading Chinese novels, I still read Chinese, appreciating the poetry, the art, and the history, and politics, or understanding politics, does that make me less Canadian? I had that question when I was, 18, 19, right? I was very young. And then for the first time, I visited China and got into a place where majority of people look like me.
Yes.
Unless, so no longer a minority. I go, oh, there's a lot of history here. Wow. And then it dawned on me that being proud of your who you are with deep understanding of Chinese philosophy and history and etc. And art does not diminish your love of Canada, of you being a patriotic Canadian.
Agreed.
And well, it's easier to say now we agree, but back when you are young, when you are very much a minority, when the hagao skin is this thick because there's hardly any exotic, seen as Chinese exotic. It's different, right? So that was the moment when I came to a realization. I was still quite young then, that you can be as patriotic to Canada and be a deeply proud Canadian, but also a Chinese Canadian, right? So that's when the identity can be created in a way that is uniquely Canadian. Get best of both worlds.
And that's what makes Canada beautiful.
Well, special, right? Beautiful and special because if you look at a lot of the food, a lot of the music, it's the blending of the connection. The creativity comes from a different place, right? So that's where the uniqueness, and it can really create something quite beautiful. Yeah, I also seen Black kids over at Ryerson's school, public school, drumming, doing rap on a Chinese lion dance for Chinese New Year festival.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I know, isn't it? So it's a complete merging of different cultures. Beautiful.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, when we think about this whole conversation, your takeaways from this, if you were to, to ask you one final question, if you were to meet that 13-year-old girl who came to Toronto from Hong Kong, who, was trying to adjust to life in Canada, was, in a home with violence and a lot of hardships. But, you've lived this incredible life now and you've been able to remain positive and see the beauty in things and be empathetic towards people. What would you want to tell that 13-year-old girl?
Just explore. Trust yourself and just keep exploring. And don't worry so much about will I be able to get a good job or get married to a good whatever. Just discover, explore, enjoy it. Just because at that age you're curious about everything. Just follow your curiosity, follow whether you want to be creative or do you want to be a scientist or a pianist
Or an artist.
or an artist or a dog lover or a mayor. Follow your dream. Just but make a difference and contribute back, because we in Canada, we are so blessed. We have everything, really, right? So find ways to contribute back and trust yourself and discover and explore and enjoy it.
Yeah. I think that 13-year-old would be really proud of you. Mayor Chow, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's been an honor to have you.
Thank you.
One more huge thank you to our guest, Mayor Olivia Chow, for joining us and sharing so generously with us. You can learn more about her and her work at mayoroliviachow.ca. Conversations is a podcast from Represent Asian Project, a media platform covering the stories, culture, and issues shaping the Asian diaspora. To learn more about our work, follow us at Represent Asian Project on all socials or visit representasianproject.com. While you're there, be sure to check out Generations, our new original docuseries, which explores transition and succession between generations. We'll be sure to link it in our show notes. And a huge thank you to Ginny, a new Asian and Black founded Canadian brand that makes sparkling adaptogenic drinks that help you unwind without alcohol. And also thank you to Uniqlo Canada for outfitting me today. And finally, a huge thanks to you, our listeners, for tuning in with us today. Be sure to stay tuned for more episodes of Conversations. And while you're at it, make sure you take care of yourselves and each other. See you next time.